My daughter called me late at night. Dad, I'm at the police station. My stepdad hit me, but now he's claiming I attacked him, and they believe him. When I got to the station, the officer on duty turned pale and stuttered. I'm sorry, I had no idea. I was already halfway to the station when my phone rang again. Detective Cross, I'm so sorry. We had no idea. No idea about what? I snapped, weaving through late-night traffic on Route 5. My Honda Accord speedometer hit 80. That your Detective Ryan Cross, from the DV unit. Sir, we didn't know she was your daughter. My hands tightened on the wheel until my knuckles went white. Where is Emma right now? Interview room 2. But sir, the stepfather has witnesses. Multiple neighbors heard screaming. He's got scratches all over his face and neck. He's pressing charges for assault unless what? Unless she apologizes, admits she lost control. He's being very reasonable about it. Says he doesn't want to ruin her future, but she needs to take responsibility for. I hung up. I'm Ryan Cross, 43 years old, detective with the Seattle PD for 19 years, 15 of those in the domestic violence and sexual assault unit. I've worked over 300 cases, interviewed hundreds of victims, testified in court 47 times. I know every trick, every manipulation tactic, every way an abuser spins a narrative, and my 16-year-old daughter's stepfather was using my own playbook against her. I pulled into the precinct parking lot at 11:47 p.m., threw the car into park, didn't bother locking it. Officer Martinez met me at the door, young, maybe 26, nervous as hell. Detective Cross, I'm so sorry. We ran her ID and didn't realize the last name's different. She said her stepdad hit her, but when we got there, he had injuries and she didn't, and the neighbors backed up his version. Where is my daughter? He led me down the hallway, past the drunk tank, past processing, to the interview rooms where we usually put suspects. They'd put Emma in interview room 2, like a criminal. My daughter, 16 years old, honor roll student, varsity volleyball player, kid who'd never been in trouble in her life. Through the two-way glass, I could see her, sitting at the metal table, arms wrapped around herself. There was a bruise blooming dark purple across her left cheek, split lip. Mascara streaked down her face from crying, but what destroyed me was the look in her eyes, hollow, defeated, like she'd realized that no one was going to believe her. I opened the door. Dad, her voice broke on the word. She stood up so fast the chair scraped. Dad, he hit me first. I swear to God, I just pushed him away. That's all I did. But nobody believes me, and Mom keeps texting saying I need to apologize, and I pulled her into my arms, felt her whole body shaking. I know, baby. I know. I believe you. She sobbed into my shoulder. He's going to get away with it. He always gets away with it. Those words. Always. Not he'll get away with this, but always. Meaning this wasn't the first time. I'd failed her. I'd known something was wrong, and I'd failed her anyway. I pulled back, looked at her face. How long? Dad, Emma, how long has he been putting his hands on you? 3 months, maybe 4. It started small, grabbing my arm too hard, shoving me against the wall, blocking doorways so I couldn't leave. Mom said I was being dramatic, that Marcus was just stressed from work, that I needed to be more respectful. My jaw clenched. Why didn't you tell me? I tried. 2 months ago. I told you he was getting aggressive and you said you'd keep an eye on it and you'd talk to Mom, but nothing changed. She was right. 2 months ago, Emma had called me crying, said Marcus was being mean and getting in her face. I'd called my ex-wife Jennifer. She'd said Emma was exaggerating, that Emma was going through a difficult phase, that Marcus was actually very patient with her attitude. I'd believed Jennifer. Why wouldn't I? We'd been divorced 6 years, but we'd always co-parented well. She'd never lied to me about the important stuff. I'd told Emma to give it time, to try being more understanding, to remember that blended families took work. I'd told my daughter, my baby girl who'd never lied to me in her life, to try harder to get along with the man who was abusing her. I'm sorry, I said. God, Emma, I'm so sorry. It doesn't matter now. Her voice went flat. He's going to press charges. I'll have a record. It'll ruin college applications. And Mom's threatening to sue for full custody because I'm violent and unstable over my dead body. Stay here, I said. Don't talk to anyone. Don't sign anything. I'll handle this. I walked into the hallway. Marcus Webb stood there with 2 officers, playing his part perfectly. Concerned stepfather. Reasonable. Respectful. Hurt, but willing to be forgiving. He was 41. Investment banker. 6'2", athletic build. Expensive watch. Designer suit even at midnight. The kind of guy who looked trustworthy, who looked like the victim. Detective Cross, he said, with fake sympathy dripping from every word. I'm so sorry it came to this. I really am. Your daughter, Emma, she needs help. Professional help. She's been volatile for months. Mood swings, angry outbursts. My wife and I have tried everything, but tonight she just snapped. The 2 officers, Martinez and another one whose badge read Johnson, looked uncomfortable. They wanted to believe him. He was calm, articulate, had scratches on his face and neck to prove he'd been attacked. Emma was the emotional teenager with mascara running down her face and a cop father who probably spoiled her. Mr. Webb says he doesn't want to press charges if Emma gets counseling and apologizes, Officer Johnson said carefully. Given her age and clean record, the DA would probably agree to diversion. Show me the security footage, I interrupted. Sir, the incident. Show me the footage. Martinez shifted. There isn't any. The incident happened inside their home. No cameras. Marcus smiled slightly, just a twitch of his lips. I wish there was footage, detective. Would clear this whole whole thing up immediately. But unfortunately, our security system has been on the fritz. I've been meaning to get it fixed. Actually, I said, pulling out my phone, there is footage. The smile faltered, just for a second. See, Marcus, my daughter called me 3 weeks ago. Said you were getting aggressive, shoving her, cornering her in rooms, blocking her from leaving. Said her mother, my ex-wife, wouldn't listen. I looked at the officers, made sure they were paying attention. So, I gave Emma a necklace. Pretty little thing. Rose gold pendant. Also records video and audio in 1080p whenever she presses it twice. Automatically uploads to cloud storage. Battery lasts 36 hours. I use them for undercover DV operations. Marcus's face went white. I also had some equipment delivered to your house, Marcus. Doorbell camera. Backyard motion sensor cam. Marketed as gifts for home security. You signed for them. Never bothered to check the documentation, did you? Never wondered why they were registered to my email? I pulled up the app on my phone. Showed the officers the footage. Emma coming home from school at 3:47 p.m. Marcus's BMW already in the driveway. He'd left work early, waiting for her. Marcus opening the door before she could get her keys out, starting to yell immediately. Something about her tone in a text message, about disrespect. Emma trying to walk past him. Marcus grabbing her arm, hard, fingers digging in. Emma pulling away. Marcus slapping her across the face. Open palm, full force, her head snapping to the side. Emma running, Marcus chasing her to the backyard. Then, and this was the beautiful part, Marcus deliberately scratching his own face, raking his nails down his cheeks and neck, hard enough to draw blood. Before the neighbors appeared over the fence, the officers watched in silence. Their faces changed, hardened. That son of a... Martinez started. There's more, I interrupted. I pulled up a folder on my phone. I've been documenting everything for 3 weeks, every threat, every time he cornered her, every time he laid hands on her, every time my ex-wife told Emma she was overreacting. I swiped through videos, audio recordings, screenshots of text messages. Marcus to Emma, keep running your mouth and see what happens. Marcus to Emma, you tell your father anything and I'll make sure he knows what a liar you are. Marcus to Emma, your mother agrees with me. You're the problem, not me. I turned to Marcus. Let him see my face. Let him see exactly what was coming. I'm a domestic violence detective, Marcus. I've worked 312 cases. I know the pattern. I know the escalation. I know exactly what you are. His mask was cracking. The reasonable stepfather was disappearing, replaced by something cold and angry. This is entrapment, he said. You can't. I'm a father protecting his child. Everything I did was legal. I bought cameras for my daughter's safety. I gave her a recording device because she felt unsafe. That's not entrapment. That's parenting. You set me up. No, you set yourself up the first time you touched my daughter. I turned to the officers. Run his record, real close. Check Marion County, Indiana, 6 years ago, before he moved to Seattle and married my ex-wife. Johnson moved to a computer. Typed. His face changed. Holy shit. There's a sealed juvenile case. Stepdaughter, age 14. Filed complaint of physical abuse. Charges dropped when the family moved out of state. That's bullshit, Marcus shouted. That case was sealed. You can't. Sealed cases can be accessed by law enforcement when relevant to an ongoing investigation, I said calmly. Which this is. Officer Martinez, I'm filing formal charges against Marcus Webb for assault in the 3rd degree, battery, endangering the welfare of a minor, and filing a false police report. You can't do this. I absolutely can. I'm also filing a restraining order on behalf of my daughter. Marcus Webb is not to come within 500 feet of Emma Cross. Is that clear? I stepped closer. Let him see my eyes. And Marcus, I'm not just filing charges for tonight. I'm filing for every incident over the past 3 months. Every shove, every grab, every threat. I have dates, times, evidence, video, audio, text messages. I've been building a case against you for 3 weeks because I knew you'd slip up eventually. I knew you'd do something this stupid. His face went from white to red. You vindictive piece of... I'm also sending copies of all my evidence to your employer. First National Bank, right? I'm sure they'll love knowing their senior investment advisor has pending domestic violence charges. I'm also sending it to your church, Greenwood Community. Pastor Thompson would probably want to know. And to every contact in your phone, I pulled those records too. Your neighbors, your golf buddies, everyone who thinks you're such a great guy. You can't do that. That's harassment. It's public information. You'll be in the police blotter by morning. I'm just making sure everyone you know gets the chance to see exactly who you really are. The officers moved toward him. Martinez had cuffs out. Marcus started backing toward the door. I want my lawyer. I'm not saying anything else without my... Marcus Webb, Martinez said formally. You're under arrest for assault in the 3rd degree, battery, and filing a false police report. You have the right to remain silent. This is bullshit. I'm the victim here. She attacked me. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. Marcus fought. Actually fought. Tried to pull away. Shouted. Called Emma a liar. Called me vindictive. Said I'd manipulated everything. The whole station was watching now. Officers coming out of rooms. Staff stopping to stare. Phones coming out. Recording. Good. I wanted everyone to see. They got the cuffs on him. Marched him toward booking. He was still screaming. You set me up. This is entrapment. I'll sue. You'll what? I said calmly. Press charges? You just tried to frame a 16-year-old girl for assault because she defended herself when you hit her. You scratched your own face to make yourself look like the victim. I have video of all of it. Video that's already backed up in 3 different locations. Video that I'm sending to the DA tonight. I smiled. Couldn't help it. And by tomorrow morning, your face will be on every news site in King County. Investment banker arrested for domestic violence. Stepfather caught on camera framing teenage victim. Which headline do you think will get more shares? Marcus looked at me with pure hatred. You destroyed my life. No, I said quietly. You destroyed your own life the first time you put your hands on my daughter. I just made sure everyone would see what you did. They took him away, still shouting, still making threats. I went back to Emma. She was standing at the glass watching, tears still streaming, but she was smiling. Actually, smiling. Did you really record everything? She asked. Every second since you first told me something was wrong. Why didn't you just arrest him weeks ago? Because I needed it to be ironclad. I needed him to hang himself so completely that he couldn't talk his way out. Guys like Marcus, they're good talkers. They convince judges, convince juries. I needed evidence so overwhelming that nobody could doubt you. She hugged me. I thought nobody would believe me. I'll always believe you. Always. Officer Martinez approached. Detective Cross, do you need anything for your daughter? EMT to document injuries? Victim services? Yes, all of it. And I want photos of every bruise, every mark, full medical examination. I want this documented properly. Yes, sir. The EMT arrived. Young woman, maybe 30. Name tag read Rodriguez. She was gentle with Emma. Asked permission before touching. Explained everything. Contusion to left zygomatic bone, that's the cheekbone. Split lip. Bruising to right upper arm consistent with finger grip pattern. Older bruising on both forearms. Various stages of healing. She photographed everything. Documented it all in her report. Has this happened before? Rodriguez asked Emma gently. Emma nodded. 3 months, maybe longer. It started small. That's how it always starts, Rodriguez said. She looked at me. Your daughter's very brave. After the EMT left, a woman in plain clothes arrived. Late 40s. Professional, kind eyes. Detective Cross? I'm Angela Martinez, victim advocate with King County. Officer Martinez called me. No relation. Different Martinez. She smiled at Emma. I'm here to help you navigate what comes next. The restraining order, the court process, counseling resources, whatever you need. Emma looked at me. I nodded. For the next hour, Angela explained everything. What to expect at the arraignment, how restraining orders work, support groups for teen domestic violence victims, therapy options. Will I have to testify? Emma asked. Probably, Angela said gently. But you won't be alone. Your father will be there. I'll be there. And with the video evidence, the defense won't have much room to maneuver. At 1:23 a.m., my ex-wife Jennifer showed up. She burst into the station in yoga pants and a sweatshirt, hair in a messy bun, no makeup. Where's my daughter? What the hell did you do to Marcus? I stood, positioned myself between her and Emma. I had him arrested for assault and battery, among other charges. This is insane. Emma attacked him. The neighbors saw Marcus chase Emma into the backyard after he hit her, which I have on video, along with video of Marcus deliberately scratching his own face to frame her. You're lying. I pulled out my phone, showed her. She watched. Her face went white, then red. Then she started crying. Oh my God, I didn't know. You didn't want to know, I said coldly. Emma told you, multiple times, and you called her dramatic. You told her to be more respectful. You enabled a man who was abusing our daughter. I didn't, he said she was exaggerating. You chose him over her. You chose protecting your marriage over protecting your child. She reached for Emma. Baby, I'm so sorry. Emma pulled away. Just don't. Emma, please, you didn't believe me. I told you he was hurting me, and you said I was lying. You said I was trying to ruin your relationship. You said, her voice broke. You said you'd send me to live with Dad if I didn't stop causing problems. Jennifer's face crumpled. I was wrong. I was so wrong. Please, I'm filing for emergency custody, I said. Emma will be staying with me until the hearing. You'll receive the paperwork tomorrow. You can't take my daughter. Watch me. You allowed a violent man to abuse her. You ignored her when she asked for help. You blamed her for her own victimization. Any judge who sees the evidence I have will rule in my favor. This is because you never forgave me for the divorce. This is because you failed to protect our daughter. That's it. That's the only thing this is about. Angela stepped forward. Mrs. Webb, maybe it's best if you give Emma some space tonight. Jennifer looked at Emma, at the bruises, at the split lip, at the daughter she'd failed. I'll fix this, she whispered. I'll leave him. I'll do whatever it takes. You should have done that 3 months ago, I said, when Emma first told you there was a problem. Now you get to live with the fact that you chose him anyway. Jennifer left, crying, broken. Good. I took Emma home, my apartment, 2 bedrooms in Capitol Hill. I'd kept Emma's room exactly as she'd left it from her last visit. Purple walls, posters of her favorite bands, stuffed animals from when she was little. She collapsed on her bed. I'm so tired, Dad. I know, sweetheart. Sleep. I'll be right here. Will he go to jail? I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure he does. What if he gets a good lawyer? What if, Emma, I have video of him hitting you, video of him scratching his own face, a pattern of documented abuse over 3 months, a sealed case from Indiana with similar allegations. This isn't a he said she said situation. This is airtight. Promise? I promise. She fell asleep within minutes, exhausted. I sat in the chair by her bed and watched her breathe, made sure she was safe. At 3:47 a.m., I went to my office, started writing my report, every detail, every piece of evidence, every witness statement. Then I called the DA, Melissa Harrison, Chief Deputy DA for King County. We'd worked together for 12 years. She'd prosecuted most of my cases. We had a good conviction rate together. She answered on the third ring. This better be important, Cross. My daughter was assaulted by her stepfather tonight. He tried to frame her for it. I have video evidence of the assault and the frame-up. I need charges filed immediately. All business now. Send me everything. I did. Every video, every photo, every document, the whole file. She called back 20 minutes later. Jesus Christ, Ryan. This guy is a piece of work. Can you prosecute? Can I? I'm going to destroy him. This is the most clear-cut domestic violence case I've seen in years. Self-inflicted injuries to frame the victim. That's bold and stupid. He's been doing this for years. Indiana case. Probably others we haven't found yet. I'll dig. We'll hit him with everything. He'll be lucky to see daylight again. I want a high bail. I don't want him getting out. With the video and the prior case, judge will set it at $100,000 minimum, and given his wealth, probably higher. Good. The arraignment was Monday morning. I sat in the gallery with Emma. Marcus appeared in an orange jumpsuit, hands cuffed. His expensive lawyer, Richard Chen, partner at Morrison & Associates, stood next to him. Judge Patricia Williams presiding, 62 years old, 30 years on the bench, known for harsh sentences in domestic violence cases. Mr. Webb, you're charged with assault in the 3rd degree, battery, filing a false police report, and witness tampering. How do you plead? Not guilty, Your Honor. His lawyer stood. Your Honor, my client is a respected member of the community, senior investment advisor at First National Bank, no prior criminal record in Washington state. He has ties to the community and poses no flight risk. We request he be released on personal recognizance. Melissa Harrison stood. Your Honor, the defendant has a sealed juvenile case in Indiana involving similar allegations from a previous stepdaughter. He also has significant financial resources and international connections through his work. He is absolutely a flight risk. Additionally, the evidence in this case includes video footage of the defendant assaulting the victim and then deliberately injuring himself to frame her. This shows consciousness of guilt and a willingness to manipulate the justice system. We request bail be set at $250,000. Your Honor, that's excessive, Chen started. I've reviewed the evidence packet, Judge Williams interrupted, including the video footage. Mr. Webb, you're a grown man who struck a 16-year-old girl and then attempted to have her arrested for assault. Bail is set at $300,000, cash or bond. Marcus's face went gray. He couldn't make bail. Tried to leverage his investment accounts, but they were mostly tied up in stocks and couldn't be liquidated fast enough. He sat in King County Jail for 3 weeks before trial. The trial was brutal for him. Melissa put Emma on the stand, let her tell her story, show the jury her bruises, explain how Marcus had systematically terrorized her for months. Then she played the videos, all of them, the necklace cam footage, the doorbell camera, the backyard sensor. The jury watched Marcus hit Emma, watched her run, watched him chase her and then claw his own face before witnesses arrived. It took them 47 minutes to convict on all counts. Sentencing was 2 weeks later. Judge Williams looked at Marcus with disgust. Mr. Webb, you abused a position of trust. You abused a vulnerable child. You attempted to manipulate law enforcement and the justice system to further victimize your victim. I'm sentencing you to the maximum under state guidelines, 5 years in prison. You will also be required to register as a domestic violence offender upon release, complete a batterer intervention program, and maintain no contact with the victim for life. Marcus stood there, silent, broken. His employer had fired him the day after his arrest. His church had removed him from the board of directors. His friends had abandoned him once they saw the videos, because I'd made sure every single one of them got copies. His reputation was destroyed. His career was over. His life as he knew it was gone. Good. 6 months after the trial, Emma and I sat in the kitchen of our apartment. She was doing homework. I was reviewing case files. Dad? Yeah? Thank you for believing me, for fighting for me. Always, kiddo. That's what fathers do. Mom asked if she could see me this weekend. Jennifer had left Marcus the day after his arrest, filed for divorce, gone to therapy, started trying to repair her relationship with Emma. What do you want to do? I don't know. She says she's sorry. She says she's changing. It's your choice. I won't force you either way. Will you come with me? If I decide to see her? Absolutely. She went back to her homework. I went back to my files. My phone buzzed. Email from Angela Martinez, the victim advocate. Detective Cross, thought you'd want to know. 2 more victims from Marcus Webb's past have come forward. One from Indiana, one from Illinois, both willing to testify if needed. Building a pattern case for civil suits. Your daughter's courage gave them courage. I showed Emma. She read it, smiled. He's really done for, isn't he? Completely. Good. We ordered pizza, watched a movie. Normal Saturday night, like it should have been all along. Emma fell asleep on the couch halfway through. I covered her with a blanket, watched her sleep, safe, protected. Marcus had thought he was untouchable, thought his wealth, his position, his credibility would protect him, thought he could manipulate the system, thought nobody would believe a teenage girl over a respected banker. He'd forgotten one crucial detail. That teenage girl's father was a detective who'd spent 15 years taking down men exactly like him, and I'd made sure that every single person in Marcus Webb's life knew exactly what kind of monster he really really was. Emma was safe now. That's all that mattered. Everything else was just justice.